This combo right here of Dr. Ratio and Sunday is one of my favorites that I've been playing around with so far, and in today's video we've got two teams that we're going to be testing. The first one is going to be a little bit try-hard, using Robin and Topaz along with Ratio and Sunday to see if we can zero cycle MOC 12, but the other team is going to be a little bit more free-to-play friendly. We're going to drop our signature light cones, drop Robin, put in a sustain, and see what the casual gameplay of Sunday and Dr. Ratio is like, because both of them I really like. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, join the Discord, and let's get right into the run. So here we are at the first side, and I've got to say, this run took a lot out of me. Somewhere around 2 hours of my life completely vanished while doing this run, and the RNG levels plus some of our crits, which shouldn't be a problem because we're going to get up to 100% crit rate, but only after we get all of our stacks of summation. Now, we went ahead and basicked, and then we're going to skill here with Ratio. We actually have to, right? Because if we don't, we're not going to get enough energy. On top of this, Robin needs to be hit twice. We also need to make sure we hit this 80% follow-up. There's a couple of things that needs to happen, and also this is the reason why it took so goddamn long to actually make it work. Now, here, we're going to go ahead and pop this Topaz ult. I didn't pop it early just because I didn't want to waste too much time out of my life and make these resets a little bit faster, but as you can see, there's the Robin ult. So, into Concerto we go. Now, we're going to go ahead and use the ultimate on Ratio. This Automaton Gatekeeper is at 33% sanction, which means one skill and one ult is going to make it advance himself, but the important part about that is that it's going to summon the fishes. We want to kill the fishes because we want to get that Death Shred applied onto that right enemy. So, we got our follow-ups out of the way. Perfect. This skill, hopefully, will not kill. It's going to trigger the sanction rate. Perfect. And then we're going to go ahead and kill it with a follow-up. And look at that. 2 fishes, free goldfish. It's Persian New Year. We got 60% Death Shred. We're looking wonderful. Maybe it's 40%. I don't know. I think the fishes are either 20 or 30 each. But, oh, look at that. I was right. It is 30%. So we're going to go ahead and advance Ratio up here. Now, I just want to talk about some of the intricacies. And by intricacies, I really just mean that we've got a pseudo Tingyon in the team here with Sunday and Ratio. Giving that energy is something that is very helpful in a lot of teams. Joy, Ratio, a lot of characters really benefit from energy, not even the ones that are energy focused like Argenti and Yun Li. So it really helps the smoothness of the team when you're getting that energy gain from another source. Now here, we want it to die, so we're going to go ahead and skill, but hopefully it doesn't completely die. Perfect. Here, we're going to go ahead and get into the next Ratio turn, and then, more importantly, we're going to have both of our ultimates up for the next wave. That's, well, that's just about mandatory, actually. Now, hopefully it dies. That means the follow-up's going to get sent over into the next wave. Wonderful. It even landed on the character with the Mark of Death, or the enemy. So this is wonderful. This is wonderful. Now, we want to make sure we focus on the right enemy first, because that debuff that's going to force us to attack him is horrible for Sunday, right? Because if it's not dead by the time Sunday's second turn comes up, he's going to get CC'd, and that's going to be a rough situation. So, hopefully, this Topaz attack plus that next Ratio follow-up will kill. Ideally, we just do not want 2 chalks getting sent to this guy. That looks wonderful. I think that looked wonderful if you ask me. So, we have 100% health on Suvrog here, but our health is looking good. The only thing we have to worry about right now is that delay, that stupid blast he's going to do. It cannot hit Ratio, and it cannot hit Sunday. This is the last layer of RNG in this run, and luckily the follow-ups from Ratio help his energy gain, so if you pair that up with Sunday, he gets a ton of ults. Okay, so... and we got it. Ideally, it's Robin. We would prefer to have an extra Topaz turn, but it doesn't really matter all that much. So at this point, we're going to go ahead and get some more energy. The consecutive turns from Ratio really gives him like 3 ults per wave. It's ridiculous. And this is without a Huoho or a Tingya. Now, these are unbuffed from the Concerto, so we got to remember that, but that damage is still looking good, even though it's not buffed by Robin's ult. So at this point, we just want to save our ultimate on Topaz. That needs to be like perfectly timed, or else we're not going to be able to trigger our final chalk. So here, into Concerto, and then we're going to have this turn here with Topaz, and we want to make sure we time it just so we do not waste that last charged hit. Wonderful. Okay, perfect. So at this point, the goal is to get one more ratio ult. If we can get one more ratio ult, then we're going to be able to clean this up before the hand ever comes up. Also, we used the technique on ratio. It was necessary because, look, it's only 5 action value before. So if we hadn't done that, then we would have had to, deal with one of our characters getting taken before, which obviously is impossible. So here we're going to go ahead and skill. Throw out a chalk, 1 Numby, and this is perfect. We've got 1 Numby remaining, and the benefit here is that Numby can trigger our extra chalk because we're going to get extra energy here from Sunday. Our skill is going to get our ultimate up, and then at that point, we just pray. We've even got this nice halo over Dr. Ratio. Look at that. Oh, that's This animation that Sunday gives to the characters he buffs is better than the masks that float around with Sparkle. They're both pretty cool, though. 177. And the ultimate followed by Numby. This is looking damn good. Tornado Pig into the Greek God's chalk, and it's over. Okay, so these are the builds we used for this run, and for the second run, we're going to be swapping out Topaz for Pela as like our, swapping our debuffer essentially. And then as for our sustain, we're going to be putting that in place of Robin. So a little bit less damage across the board. Actually, a lot of bit of damage lost across the board, but, should be fine. Now, we had the 4-piece Sicardos here on Sunday, plus the 2-piece Lukasha, of course, or Lushaka. And interestingly enough, we can also put that on Robin. That 2-piece would have been better in this run because the Von Wyck didn't actually help us, although in lots of situations the Von Wyck does end up helping, but in this one, it could have been swapped out for an extra 12% attack, it's whatever. Now, Topaz here, that E1 would have been really nice on Topaz just to guarantee a couple of our follow-ups because we were at 80% a lot. That is one problem with this team is that if Ratio doesn't actually apply that effect res debuff, we are not able to get max stacks of debuffs or, the total number that we want. Anyways, let's hop into the second run and then we'll go over the builds after. So here we are for the second run. Now, this one we're going to do versus the Swarm just because I want to mix it up a little bit. I don't want to, have everything be against Sevarog because it doesn't have to be like a direct comparison. It's just 2 different teams. However, here in this team, even though we have a sustain with Aventurine, the damage I think is still really, really surprising, especially considering that at the end of the day, we've got no light cone on Sunday. We've got Bronya's, and we also have, of course, the Pela and, the Aventurine with no light cone, although that's it's a negligible buff having his light cone. Now, for Ratio, I was going to put him on the cruising. However, my relics were a little bit rough, so I actually ended up just keeping him on the Ratio light cone. It's going to increase his performance a little bit. It's going to be a little bit better than the cruising, but honestly, the cruising is fine, too. In these casual runs, it doesn't really matter all that much. Now, here, we're going to go ahead and just chill, because it's a chill run, and I'm a chill guy. I still have no idea what that Winnie the Pooh bear is about. If any of you guys want to describe that meme to me, that'd be wonderful. I don't know why I'm asking you guys to describe memes to me in the middle of a Sunday early access video, but you know what, whatever. So, that was some pretty good damage, as you can see. That was damn good. I didn't even talk about it, but look at it. I mean, that's pretty damn good, considering. Now, how much damage can we get? How close can we get to a 0 cycle? Actually, pretty damn close. Now, we're going to go ahead and drop that ult anyways because we want to hold the ultimate on Pela a little bit longer. We want to go into the second phase with it, and because she's not on wind, she's not exactly the best, speed-tuned character right now. So our next couple sets of follow-ups are not going to do all that much. Once the Death Shred runs out, I mean. Okay. Take some damage, and we did also end up putting the Trend Light Cone on Aventurine just to kind of get a couple of extra debuffs. Now, see, that's the thing. We didn't get the follow-up from Ratio because we couldn't trigger because we didn't have the debuffs, but we don't want to use the Pela Ultimate. We can't use the Pela Ultimate, so I guess we'll just use the Ratio or the Aventurine ult just to implant that extra debuff. It's almost necessary at this point just so we don't have to reset, although we did waste energy from holding Aventurine's ult previously, so pretty rough rotation if I'm not gonna lie. That didn't make sense grammatically, but it's fine. Now here we can go ahead and actually pop the ult on Ratio first just so we can get both hits with the full amount of Death Shred. The ult's not going to be buffed from the debuffs, but it's fine. one chalk, and a basic into another chalk. Nice. So this is pretty good damage. 100k follow-ups with just standard. Now we're going to keep focusing on the True Sting until we can get one of Palo's ults to land on the bugs, and then we can actually switch over to the bugs, which is pretty nice, not only because of the extra debuffs we get on the True Sting, all that extra vulnerability, but also for the energy we get from the kills. It's going to help get those ultimates even faster with ratio. Okay, let's hold the Palo ult just to be safe. Now at this point we can decide once we press skill to look at the debuffs. Okay, so we can either attack the True Swarm or the bug. It's going to depend on our energy. So at 95, that means that if we get one kill, we're actually going to be at 145, because 30 from the skill, 10 from the kill, and 10 from the chalk. I was going to say follow-up, but chalk sounded a little bit better, I guess. Nice. Okay, so we got the ultimate on ratio, which means we don't waste it. And then hopefully we can get pretty damn close into the next wave. Or the next phase. At this point, doesn't it really matter. We're probably going to have to waste both chalks anyways, so doesn't matter all that much. One shot, two shot, and it rains coins. We like to see it. Okay, after this, we're into the next phase, and then let's see what he summons. There is going to be that one bug that's going to blow up and deal a lot of damage, but, you know, with Event Train, it doesn't even matter. Also, you know, Event Train's not really doing all that much for us in this team. Maybe triggers a couple of follow-ups. That debuff from his ult is nice, but it's not all that necessary, so any sustain works, of course. I mean, that's a pretty obvious thing to say, but look at this. We got 100% on this bug here, so we're just going to take advantage of it. Might as well get the kill, get the energy, get the debuffs. It's better than possibly skilling and not getting a chalk. That's like 20 wasted energy, technically. And when you look at that, back into the beastified. Is it beatified or beat? It is a beatified, not beastified. I don't know why I thought it was beast. And we drop the massive Pillar of Justice. Or the Pillar of Learning. I'm not sure what he would call a Dr. Ratio. He has a doctorate. He's got a doctorate degree in columnology. Okay, let's finish this up and get done with the video. Come on, we're almost there. Even though this is a casual run, it is slightly slow for my liking, especially when you compare it to the first run, which, in my opinion, was damn good. I mean, that was a good run. After the time I spent doing it, I'm so glad it actually ended up working, and the RNG didn't completely screw me over. Okay, so we're looking at 3 cycles if we clean up in this wave. You know what? I think that's pretty good. I don't think that's too bad. I think that's pretty good. I mean, it's not amazing. It's not, like, ridiculous, especially because we are using an E0 S0 Sunday, you know, with just a regular Dr. Ratio with his light cone. Nothing all that special, but considering it's a pretty standard basic team with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stars in total on the whole team, and Aventuring's pretty useless, it's fine. And when I mean he's useless, I don't mean that he's bad useless. I just mean, you know, as long as anybody sustains, anybody's sustaining. I mean, his follow-ups aren't really doing much. His debuff is the only thing that's really putting him over the edge. Whoa, would actually be much better. And the final chalk, and that is all the True Sting wrote. I don't know what the gender of the True Sting is. But the swarms are blowing up, so poor deceased babies and poor deceased mother. I apologize. Maybe it's a woman. So just like we talked about here, ratio was the same as the first run. Nothing all that different. Sunday was also the same except for the light cone. We did change onto the Bronya light cone. And as for Pela, pretty standard resolution, 4-piece, no 4-piece actually, 2-piece, 2-piece speed. And look at that, our speeds are not high. We had nothing higher than 7 on our pieces and 1 with nothing, and we're still at 170. So these 2-piece speeds are insanely good. Now here we had the 4-piece night set for the extra defense, extra shield, I guess. But we also have the 2-piece Lukasha, which is pretty damn good. That's actually a really, really good set if you do not care for the action advance. Anyways, thanks for watching. That is the video with Sunday and Dr. Ratio. You know, this early access, couple days early access, I suppose. Put into the comments any future combos you guys want to see, live or not live. It won't be too long from now. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Adios.